So hi guys, welcome to issue 80 where we'll be doing the, I'm going to have to look up the magazine, I keep forgetting, the components for the forearm and left hand. And I have a sad moment. This is the last Agora model version that I'm going to be doing on this. From 81 I'm actually switching back over to Hachette for mostly financial reasons. I'm in the process of getting another 10 issues through Hachette, but so next week will be I mean it won't make any difference to the build, it's still the same model, but yeah, I'm actually finishing with Agora, like I say, for mainly financial reasons. As for the build, I had an awful lot of trouble with this finger. It wasn't the finger that was the problem, it was the joint. And this is one part I don't really enjoy so much as these springs, but I've got half of it done now, so I'm happy in that sense. So let's see how I got on. So hello, welcome to stage 80, components for the forearm and left hand. And as always, let's start with a parts check. So we have piece number 1, this is plastic. This is the left forearm shaft. And sorry, I've just got some parts from the previous issue there waiting. Right, so part 2 is the left forearm joint. This is another plastic piece. 3 is the left forearm plate. It says plate. It is a sort of plate. Part 4 is the left forearm muscle springs. So these are in a bag. Oh, it's a Ziploc bag. That's handy, isn't it? Reusable bags. So this is 3 springs that we've put in, 4 springs, sorry, that we've used before, and these will be used for like the muscle tendons. Is it the tendons? The what do you call the stringy bits that pull the muscles? Piece 5 is 2 KB screws, which I've gone and put down somewhere. KM screws. KB screws. Do you know, I just put those down. How amazing is that? For hair, right in front of me all along, look. So we've got KB 2x4 screws, which I've put away in the pot, and the PM 3x12 screws, which I've put in the pot as well. And that's odd, they normally give us the screws last, don't they? And then that leaves us with a finger joint connector, which is this piece here, a finger joint pin, which is this one here, and a plastic sleeve for the finger joint there. So step 1, take the forearm plate 3 and the 4 springs, identify the 4 grooves in the plate where the springs will be fixed. Step 2, apply a little super glue to the first groove and stick the end of one of the springs in place, hold in place until the glue has dried. And then step 3 is continue applying super glue and fixing the springs in place until all 4 are fixed. So what we're going to do is take these springs, and I don't know if you can see, hopefully you can, there's 4 grooves in there, and the springs will fix in place, one there, one there, one there, and one there. And I think the easiest way to do that will be to use a cocktail stick, and just managed to drop one, and some super glue. So I'm going to use this particular super glue because I think this blunt end is going to be quite useful. What I'm going to do is get some super glue and we'll just roll that into there and then place the spring in and then work our way along each spring. So I'm going to get my super glue gel. Now you may have noticed in other videos I've had a bit of trouble with the super glue, and I think I figured this out. I know that it really needs a good shake, and I have a theory that some of the old glue has got stuck in the nozzle. So every time I use this glue I give a little bit of a squirt there, and that's wasted, and then I apply some glue that I'm going to use. So let's see if this works. So a little bit of glue, not too much, and then some onto there like so, and and that has become Instabond. That's fantastic. So I'll just get on with the other three. So I'm actually going to do every other one because then that will just give the next one a bit of time. Except that's not nothing, ignore that statement, but I thought it might be easy to do every one, but to be honest with you, it doesn't really make any difference. But what I'm finding is that this hole is just the right size for a cocktail stick. So let me just pull that spring. Yeah. So it's just about the same size as a cocktail stick, so you can get your cocktail stick in there and just roll it and just apply the glue that way, and that seems to work extremely well. It's funny that I know that we've done this before, sticking these springs on, but I can't actually remember doing it. So it's almost as though this is the first time I've ever done this before, but I know we've done it. How odd is that? So that's steps 1, 2 and 3 completed. So step 4 is take the forearm shaft piece number 1 and fit the plate 83 to the base of the shaft so that each of the 4 springs are enclosed and the screw holes are aligned. So we are looking for this point here. This is a small hole there, and that's that actually fits in. You see that we've got some lugs there on the sides, we've got some notches there, and then if you place it, you can place it wherever you like and then just slide and it will just lock itself into place. So there we go, that's perfect. And then we will secure that with a KB 2x4mm screw. If I can get it out. And that screw will go straight into there, and this is only going into plastic, so don't over tighten. As long as that piece isn't moving, that's absolutely perfect. So there we go, that's that part complete. So the step shows a sharp right. So step 7, take the base of the forearm 82, identify the notch in the rim. So there's a notch just there, which should align with a notch on part 81, which is there. So that's not fitting. Right, so the notch needs to go up. Right, that isn't a good fit actually. Right, there's nothing to lock this in, but the screw hole there and there lines up, as does the notch. But as you see, there's nothing nothing to tell it when it's in perfect. So, but that will be secured with a PM 3x12mm screw. So we'll see how it feels once we've driven that screw home. And this screw is an Allen key screw. Is that right? No, it's not an Allen key. I do apologise. It's a screw head, normal Phillips screwdriver. So let's just double check. Yes, it is a normal screwdriver head. It's my bad. There was a mix of we had some Allen key heads in a previous issue, and I actually combined the screws because they're all the same size, aren't they? It's just the head that's different. So that is actually the best screwdriver head. I think I'm going to use, I know there's another screwdriver that works really well for this. Yeah, it's actually quite deceptively small, this screwdriver head. If you look at the size of the screw and then look at the size of the head, it just comes across as a bit odd to me. Right, okay, it looks like this is my best screwdriver then. Yeah. Right, so let's pop that screw into there. So, and then what we can do is we can then bring the screw, the part to the screwdriver. Normally we'd bring the screwdriver, the screw to the part, and then I can see that that is going to lock in. And there we go, that's gone in absolutely fine. So we've got the notch has just gone into that little channel there, and that is actually a really good fit. Probably because of the length of the screw. Did you notice how many times I had to turn the screwdriver? And once that's locked, it's just that when you're lining it up, there's no way, you know how sometimes parts will fit like this, and you know when it's in before you put the screw, the actual screw in. But in this particular case, it was more like this, and there was no way it was, you know, it could still pivot, but it was a really weird feeling. So there's that part done. So we're going to finish off. I find this a little bit odd how they've done this, but we've got the finger from last week, and we're just going to finish that off. So we will need a little bit more glue, and what we're going to do is we're going to pop check the fit of the second finger of the left hand, fit the plastic sleeve over the connector which is there. So that plastic sleeve is going into, wow, that's a tight fit. There we go. So that's gone in like that. So then we're going to pop the finger on like so, and trying to see which way round this is going. So the pin 87, this is going to be the top of the hand, so it's going to go in from the top, and I think I've done that wrong. I think I need to put the sleeve over the pin. Sorry, I'm really out of sorts at the moment for some reason. So we're going to pop the sleeve onto the pin, and then we're going to pop the pin in from the top, and this is now obviously really stiff because once you've got that sleeve in, it's just pushing back a little bit. So I'm just finding something that I can push that. I don't want to push it in that way because if I apply any force it's going to break. I think this hand is only plastic. So right, so let's try a plan B, which is right, I'm using this as more of a plier motion. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to push the sleeve down a little bit just so that the sleeve gets a bit of a head start, and that didn't really do anything. It was a good idea in theory. There we go, that's gone. So once that started to go, the whole lot becomes a bit easier, and it's just it is difficult to put in, but it does go in. So then right, I'm not happy with that fit actually, so it's the sleeve doesn't seem to have gone down quite so far, so that's better. This is a real tough job. It's like it's pushing the pin in, but not the sleeve. Let's use the proper tools for the job, shall we? So what I'm trying to do is just pull a bit more of the sleeve through. It's actually getting stuck. May possibly also have buggered the sleeve up, so that might be why it's not going through. So I am having problems with this. Right. Okay, I might end up just doing a quick mod on this and just cut the bit of that sleeve off, because it's just stopping the pin from engaging fully. So yeah, I don't know why it's done this. All the other sleeves have worked absolutely fine, but this one it's just not going all the way home. So this is now outside of the instruction booklet. Yeah, that's a better fit. Right. So what I'm doing is the bit of the sleeve that I've just cut off, I'm actually putting on the bottom. So I've still got a complete sleeve, and that's just pinged off. There it is. So we'll see how that goes. I might end up getting rid of that. So we've still got a complete sleeve, but it's just that some of it's there, some of it's there. So we'll finish this off by popping this finger joint in, and that's going to go on like so, and that's absolutely fine. Look, that's perfect. So we just need to finish this off by a little bit of more super glue, so I'll give that a really good shake. Now I'm using a different cocktail stick from earlier because I used the square end and I want to use the pointy end. Now obviously if I hold, actually I could cut that off, couldn't I? I think I'm having one of those funny days. There we go, so ignore what I've just said. So so a little bit of waste squirt. I think it doesn't help that this glue is quite old. Actually it's over a year old, and it's just needs a little bit more tender loving care than a brand new pot of glue. So we'll pop some glue into there. It doesn't matter if we got a bit too much and put some onto the sleeve, as long as we get it on the inside of the sleeve. What we don't want is to put so much glue that it actually makes contact with the finger joint, because that will stop it from moving freely. So we just pop this pin in, and if all has gone well, right, now every single one I've done, I've put the joint in and it's not gone in, and then I've applied a little bit more glue and then it's gone in perfect. And I think the first time you put the pin in, what you're doing is applying glue inside where the pin is going. So oops. Yeah, that's still not. I think it's not really the glue that's the problem. I think it's the point of contact. In an ideal world, you would glue two flat surfaces together, and the more contact area you have with the target, the more points of contact you have for the glue. I think that with that sleeve, it's not making a full point of contact, and I think it's not until we actually, there we go, that's fine now, that's absolutely perfect. So I've applied some glue to the inside of the base of the pin, and no, that's come out again. That has come out again. So right, having trouble with this finger. So I might just give up on this plastic sleeve. If this doesn't work, I'll get a little tiny dab of epoxy in there. And the problem with epoxy is that it's a little bit harder to control than super glue, and if it goes wrong, that finger is not going to be moving. I think that's done it actually, so maybe that plastic sleeve has been a real issue. It's been a real problem, this issue. So nope, that's come off. Oh, right. It's obviously not making enough contact, because we know there's nothing wrong with the glue. But I'll try this one more time, because we know there's no problems with the glue, because otherwise you wouldn't be able to do this. So it's not the glue, it's obviously, it's either I'm doing something wrong, or the parts are, now that I think is fine. Yeah, okay, that has finally stuck. So I can't pull that pin off. but the finger's still moving. So, whew, at last that's complete. So there we go. That's rather a long issue, but we have started work on the left forearm and fitted another finger to the left hand. And unfortunately I can't tell you what's in the next issue, because this is the end of Agora Pack 8, issue 80. Now from the next issue I'm actually switching back over to Hachette. I'm buying some catch-up issues. The reason for that is, well, there's a few reasons, but the main reason is that I've got the money now to buy enough issues to catch up to where Hachette are releasing, but in a few months time I'll be changing jobs, so I'll have a little bit less money, and it will obviously be cheaper for me to get 4 issues a month than it will be to get 10 issues a month. So it's a saving of £60. So I'm in the process of getting some more Hachette issues. So this is the last time that I will ever be saying, sorry guys, I don't know what's in the next issue. But we know what's in this issue, and we know what we've done. And if you'd be so kind enough to join me next week, by the time that video is released, we will certainly know what's in it. So take care guys, bye bye.